where I stood when I was 22 years old behind MK Abiola. In 1993, after the criminal annulment of the 1993 June 12 election. And when I was hearing him that day, I had some hope. One day, Nigeria will become a truly democratic nation. A nation where democracy does not mean stealing billions. Democracy does not translate to making life hard for citizens of Nigeria. Where democracy does not involve rigging elections and announcing a winner in the middle of the night. But today, 30 years later, the sad situation of Nigeria is that everything Abiola stood for, the people who are in power today are against it. In fact, Abiola's motto was an end to poverty. But today, the motto of the ruling class is the escalation of poverty. That is why when Abiola's so-called friend, Bola Tinubu, became president, the first thing he did was to attack the poor by removing the so-called fuel subsidy. Greatest Nigerian people, yes. We are not part of those who will come here to do their normal jamboree. Those when in their prime, they had a chance to fight for June 12, they never fought for it. In fact, most of them fought against June 12. But they are the ones probably now desecrating Abiola's grave by double speaking as usual. But I must tell you today that our party started from this compound 30 years ago when Abiola was being buried. We set up an organization known as Moshood Abiola Vanguard for Democracy. Those of us that started it are the ones who manifested for 30 years till now. And we have never changed our position. Our position is that Abiola won the election in 1993 and he should be declared president. Our position is that just like those who illegally occupied office are being given presidential treatment, Abiola must also be given presidential treatment. He must be paid his emoluments every year, every month, like the rest of them. He must also, as you all know, be listed as a former president of Nigeria. In fact, the Democracy Day you are seeing today did not come from them. It came from us in Abeokuta in 2018 when I spoke about turning June 12 to Democracy Day and not May 29, which is their own Democracy Day. Greatest Nigerian people, yes. We have changed and we are not going to change. We will never support any legitimate government. We will never support a government that brings suffering and corruption on the Nigerian people. And as I'm speaking to you today, I'm speaking on behalf of Abiola, who is laying down in the grave there, proud of all of us. That he knows that when we are sent to power, we make this country a better country. We are not looking for power for the sake of getting power. We are looking for power so that we can make it an opportunity for every Nigerian to get what they deserve from this country. When you talk about fuel subsidy removal, the only reason they remove fuel subsidy is because they said people are manipulating the process. Who are the people manipulating the fuel subsidy? It's the same them. They are members of the APC, PDP, or, or the three of them combined together, APC, DP, LP. Because even the Labour Party is an adjunct of either the PDP or the APC, depending on which of the Labour Party person you are dealing with. One of their legislators said recently that he saw Tinubu. He was so impressed after he has eaten shawarma inside Sowore. He can't believe that he had never seen a president like this before. Reason is that the barrier for leadership is so low that somebody will praise a president that read a speech written for him as the best president in the country. And it also shows that they are not different from one another. They are the same. Of June 12, because it was an election that we have preserved till today. And we always say it to those people who were hiding in 1993. People who said it doesn't concern them. that if you don't make the country a better country, one day it will affect you. Look at those people who are not saying that there are no free and fair elections in 2023. If they had fought for free and fair elections, they continue to have free and fair elections since 1992. We are here now, we'll be here tomorrow, I will be here forever to carry on the legacy of real democracy, because today Nigeria does not have democracy. What is what Yoruba call shege-cracy. This is democracy of shege, and they will show everybody shege as long as they are in power. Thank you very much. It was Hope 93. You cannot renew hope if it has never existed. There was no Hope 93, so there cannot be a follow-up called renewal of hope. And you know, as it is customary of Nigeria, whenever there is an original, there's a counterfeit. You can tell by the way they started their renewal of hope, by killing the hope of our Nigerian people to eat on a daily basis after 2 weeks in office. So there's no hope. I contested in the 2023 election, and I was the first person to come out that there was no election. When somebody tells me in the media that, oh, you lost election, you can only lose an election if there was an election. It was a selection, and that's what they did. In 1993, though, by our own reckoning, it was an election that was free, fair, and acceptable and credible to the Nigerian people. That's why, since 1993, 30 years later, we are still referencing a 1993 election. And that election winner had been allowed to carry on the leadership of the country, we would have consolidated free and fair elections since 1993. And that's what I was saying. Those who were against the 1993 struggle are also now complaining